Okay, I'll go first. Okay, here we go. Now we're up. You had to jump in, huh?
Yeah.
You had to jump in. Okay, well, there we go. Let's kind of shimmy that over just a little bit. Catch a little bit more of you. Scoot over. Scoot over here. This is your show.
What?
I'm just here to help. What are we doing today?
Making soap.
We are making soap. So what do we got to do to make soap?
You need molds.
You got to speak up.
You need molds.
See this down here? This has to be just up into this, about where it is now.
Okay.
So if it's not going all the way up, you're not loud enough.
So you're gonna need You're gonna need molds.
Okay.
Soap.
Mm-hmm.
Also have more soap over there.
Okay.
And cup. And any stirring thing of your choice.
Chopsticks.
We're using chopsticks.
We're using chopsticks. Okay, so what are we going to do first for our soaps? We've got some interesting, we have lots of molds. Let's see what else we have for molds here. We've got
some paw prints.
We've got paw prints.
And birds.
And birds. And these are like, if you look at some of the detail work here. Let's get up under there you go. So you can look at how that detail that is in there. And these are silicone. So we can get some really good high detail.
And this one also has
some feathers. Yeah. Oh yeah, lots of good textures in there. Lots of good stuff.
Silicone.
Yeah, silicone molds. I like silicone molds for this because we can get a lot in there. So what are we going to do first? What are you thinking?
How about we start off with some feathers?
We're going to make some feathers to go in some blocks of soap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do we need to do first?
First we need to move the molds out of the way.
Okay, so we're going to use
We're going to use this
Mm-hmm.
for these. But for like the blocks of... I don't want to get them out.
Okay.
For the block ones, we are going to be using...
The block ones, so like...
clear.
Okay, so we're going to put shapes inside the clear soap.
So we're going to put... for example,
Okay. Okay.
For nests.
We can do that. Alrighty. Okay. So we'll put these back. I'm just going to set them over here for now. Just kind of out of the way. So we're going to open that up. I guess we're going to need a knife, aren't we?
Go get the knife.
Okay.
That we use for chopping soap.
Now when we do this, and this is Mr. Umbra is probably going to come yell at us.
Why?
Because he has strong opinions about kitchen tools.
Okay.
But we use a bread knife because it's got enough of a serration on it to kind of saw through the soap.
Mm-hmm.
And in itself, it's not that sharp. I mean, it's still sharp, but it's not.
Like you shouldn't go up to someone and just say, "Ha!"
No, we should not stab people with the bread knife. That would be bad.
Black. Oh, stop.
Okay, so now you're gonna cut that.
Right here.
Oh, we want to melt it, so we're gonna have to cut it into chunks that'll melt. So we'll cut it in small chunks.
Right there.
Sure.
Right then. I'm sawing it. I do like this motion.
Okay, do you want me to get it?
Yeah, it's really hard to cut with my tiny baby hands.
There. Yeah.
Okay, Daddy does the cutting.
Oops, they cut out of an angle.
It's fine. Angles are.
Okay, so we're gonna cut this up into chunks.
We don't have a melting can.
What do we use
What do you mean?
for melting?
We use a microwave.
Okay, so we drop those in there.
Should we put a scent in?
Once we get it melted,
Okay.
we get another
Chunk.
chunk of soap in there. And what's nice is if you get these chunks down to decent size, they melt really well, don't they?
My favorite soap is mostly to use the cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter. Why cocoa butter?
Because it's the easiest to melt after you cut it into like thin strips.
Mm-hmm.
So in my preference, you should use it instead of like other types of soap.
Okay, it's ready to go. Now what are you gonna go do with that?
I'm gonna go put it in the microwave for 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
30 seconds.
That was 20. Was it 30?
You start off with 30 and then you put it in for 10 seconds.
10 seconds at a time. So go ahead and give that 30 seconds. She's gonna take it over to the microwave. And we're gonna keep the plan here. So the plan's gonna be to take one of these bricks.
Brick mold.
and we're going to put a layer of soap in it, and then we're going to put the figures in it, and then we're going to cover it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the problem with their clear soap is that it's not really clear.
Well, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it's like you can sort of see through it.
Okay, so let's get that ready to melt too. Should we do that?
Should I get a different cup for it?
Yeah, we're going to need another cup to melt this in.
Okay.
Because we're going to need to get that layer, right?
Should I use this one or this one?
Use the little one.
Okay.
Okay, I'll fill that up. You go ahead and bring in let's show everybody what came out of the microwave.
Just by itself.
Yeah, show them how it looks.
And how you know when you should put it in again.
Okay, how's it looking?
So
We got some bubbles. Did it get too hot?
I still feel some chunks.
Still got some chunks?
See, chunk right there.
Oh, yep, there's a chunk there. Can you show the camera? There's a chunk in there. Okay.
Chunk right around. There's some chunks.
Okay.
They can only see after you like pour it in.
Mhm.
So like take your stirring, like take a spoon and sort of go spin it around a couple times to see if you can feel any chunks.
Oh, hey, Neilme. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you hanging out with us today. Okay, go give that another 10 seconds. How are you doing today on this fine, cold Sunday? What are we doing? We are in the process of making soaps.
Soap.
So right now, Kitty was just saying, what am I doing, Kitty?
You're cutting the soap.
Cutting up the soap, why?
So for the base of these tiny soaps.
Yeah, so we're gonna chop this up into chunks and melt it down so that it's a little easier to get in there. And the more effort you put into cutting it up ahead of time, the easier it melts.
I don't feel any chunks.
We got no chunks, okay. So what are we gonna do with that? Right now we have a white. Is that the color you want to use?
No.
All right, what do you want to do with that?
I want a blue.
You want a blue. So what are we using?
We are using my magical bag that is not on camera.
Okay.
Makeup powder.
And what will it smell? What will he smell like, Kaylee? Kitty?
Well, we have 3 different scents.
We have some scents.
We got rose, vanilla, which is almost out.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna have to refill on scents. We
Yep.
have rose, lavender, and vanilla.
Ooh, what should we use in this one? Now the scents are going to have to go in the clear because the clear makes up the bulk of the brick. So you better get that color before it starts to harden.
For the skin fleeting.
Yeah, so I'm going to go melt this down.
Tiny drop.
Okay, I'm feeling like I need to.
Put an apron on.
Here we go.
Yeah, Nathan's here. Join him, Nathan's here.
What's up? Oh, hey, Nathan. The Marilla Triangle. Glad to have you hanging out with us. There we go. Now I can.
Why are you wearing an apron?
We should both be wearing aprons for this, just so we don't ruin our clothes with hot soap. Yeah, in fact, I was telling your mother, Nathan, sir, that we were looking to see how we could label these so we can share them with people and follow all the rules and stuff.
I'd have to go get the melted soap.
Okay, it's looking. I still see some chunks in here.
Here's your stirring stick.
Is this the one you were using before?
Nope.
Okay, good. You need a little more blue in there. So this is our clear, and you can see it gets pretty clear. I'm going to probably give it another 10 seconds. Although, maybe not.
No chunks?
I don't see any chunks in there. That actually looks pretty good.
How did you do it for like 30 seconds? Sorry.
Okay. Although that's not very much for a block. If you want a blue, you're going to put a lot more blue in there.
That would empty out my entire little bottle.
Hmm.
I guess we can go for a deep blue. Hold this. Thanks.
Okay. Depends on how blue you want. This is a nice light blue.
I want like a darkish sea blue.
Yep, so we're going to have to get some more of that eventually. That's okay though. We can use it up. Okay.
There.
Well, that's good in blue now.
That's gonna be nice. What is wrong with my makeup powder right now?
It takes a lot of makeup powder to really color it.
Okay, why is it teal? That's good enough.
So we'll keep stirring it up. So we're getting a nice blue tone. But that's the thing, is dark, adding color to white takes a lot of color. And the thing about this mica powder, it's like a makeup coloring. So it's not going to stain or anything. It's not like food coloring. You don't want to use food coloring in soap. Because food coloring in soap is going to create all kinds of headaches.
What do you mean headache?
Because it's going to make people's skin change color. So I got skin going on mine now, speaking of skins. So what are we going to, what things are we going to make that are blue?
We could make one of the birds blue.
Make a bird blue? We can make part of a bird blue.
After that, earlier Dad was talking about the texture, and you can still see like grooves and texture.
Yeah. And then you had the feathers. Do we want to do a bunch of blue feathers? Yeah. Okay, I'll start the first. I'm gonna put some of this clear. You go ahead and get ready to pour that.
Okay. Oh, it already collected.
Yeah, gotta keep it going. Gotta move fast. Okay, so you're gonna pour that into these molds,
which are very thin.
Yeah, we're not gonna use a lot of soap in each of these. They're very low to the ground.
Just gonna put those off to the side.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the first couple of bars of soap ready here. So I'm gonna put this right there while we work. And what I'm gonna do is, while she's pouring that, I'm gonna put a layer of clear in the bottom of each of these as like a background, so that whatever we add to whatever things we put in here are gonna kind of look like they're floating in the soap. Let's make 3 bars today.
I poured too much.
That's okay, we can trim it off.
Okay.
Should we do 3? 3 is a good number to start with, right? Or should I get ready to make a 4th?
Maybe get ready to make a 4th.
You need a 4th? Okay, I'll have to go melt some more of this clear stuff. All right, there we go.
Soap is getting used up today.
Okay.
I'm very messy. Yeah.
We can always trim it off. That's one neat thing here, is we can always cut back. If we put too much in the mold,
yeah,
we can always trim it later. It's looking really good, sweetie. Okay, we still have a lot of blue. What should we do with that extra blue? We made a lot of blue. Do you want to make some blue birds?
Yeah, but what are we going to do with these in the way?
We can scoot them over. I'm actually going to slide that over there, get it out of the way. Do we want to use some of the other smalls, or do we want to actually make one big blue bird?
Let's make one big blue bird.
One big blue bird?
Big bird.
That's a lot of blue, though.
It's going to fill one whole bird.
Want to do one whole bird? Okay, we can do one whole bird.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Let's put it right here.
Okay.
So which one are you going to do?
I think I'll do, how about this one?
Oh, okay. Okay.
The steering stick.
Set it to the side. Set it to the side. Gotta get all the way through. We can show everybody how it looks.
Is that good?
Well, that looks really good.
Oh, I got some.
You dripped a little bit there. Hot soap, hot soap.
It's not hot.
Oh, well, that's a good sign. We still have a lot of blue left.
One more bird?
Or do you want to do? Let's do a bunch of these little birds. Can I do the little birds? I think it would be a lot of fun to do a whole bunch of little tiny birds.
You want to know why I started off with birds?
Why'd you start with birds?
Because Wild Wings for the craft show, they're gonna be they asked me to make soap.
Now, what is Wild Wings? You've mentioned them a couple of times. Can you talk about what Wild Wings is?
Wild Wings is where they rescue birds and help them so that they can be released back into the wild.
Oop, 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 didn't mean to do that. I've got a little this little tip on the end of this thing. Just making it harder and harder to pour into these little tiny molds.
We can always get it out. And Wild Wing takes care of little birds and big birds.
But not too big. She can't take swans.
No, she cannot.
That's been a thing lately. People have been very upset that she's had to turn them down when they've tried to bring her swans.
Swans will not fit.
She's had to explain she doesn't have capacity for those. But it's a bird rehab that Kitty Kate is lucky enough to be connected with.
I actually go there sometimes to help out. And
I'm thinking once these come out, we should make birds of different colors.
Okay.
Like a complement to the blue.
Well, what's the opposite of blue?
What would be a good complement color to blue?
Red.
Maybe some red birds.
You know, mixing it into with the skin.
But we need some white. We need some plain white at some point because I would love to put
Oh, like little drops.
to make a nest. I think that would be really cool. Okay. Now, the really pain in the butt with all this is now having to sit and let that all cool. Do you want to figure out what we want to do with that blue?
Well, the blue, since it's a lot, and how much blue was this bird with? Because we could just put in another big bird.
We could. We can also pour that into something
Like
as a holder, and then we can melt it back down again. Now we have that blue.
I want to make another blue bird.
You gonna make another blue bird? All right, go for it. Make another blue bird.
Since this is starting to get a little thick.
Okay. I am going to very carefully. We want to do a fourth block here, so I want to make sure I can get another block into
Oh,
this.
that is too thick.
Uh-oh.
That is thick.
Uh-oh.